Welcome back to another video on astrology. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the Pancha Maha Purusha Yogas. Pancha means, Panch means five, and Mahapurusha means the big or the great human beings. And these Pancha Maha Purusha Yogas are caused by just 5 planets, obviously. And so, who are which are the grahas that got exempted are the Sun, the Moon, Rahu, and Ketu. So, right from Mars to Saturn, each one of them there is a possibility that they can cause a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga in a horoscope. If you want to know the simple definition of what is a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, or if there is a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, in horoscope all you have to do is just use this formula. If planet X is exalted and in own house, then simultaneously it is also in a Kendra, which means 1, 4, 7, 10. Then it causes Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. This is the easiest yoga that you can easily spot in any horoscope. Even a beginner can do this. It just requires the knowledge of where the planets are exalted and own house. And if you know how to count houses, 1, 4, 7, 10, then you can easily spot a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. And even if you don't spot the yoga in the horoscope, other people who don't know astrology also will spot it, because the person having this yoga usually rises to the top. What is this yoga? It is basically something that sets you apart from a crowd, but the crowd can be you might be the one in 10,000 or one in 1 lakh or 1 million, 10 million, billion, all this is possible. So the moment you have Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, it just means that the planet, this yoga will push you like the wind pushing a sailboat. So automatically there is something coming from the past life. So this is a very advantageous yoga. This yoga will work in tandem with other Raj Yogas, of course, because the more the Raj Yogas you have, the better it gets. And if you want to know how powerful a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga is, you will have to use the other knowledge that you have obtained in astrology. One is, if the said planet is also extremely strong in Shadbala, then it is capable of doing what it says in the horoscope. Or sometimes you find the said planet has shifted out of the Kendra house in the Bhava chart, and so it gets weaker because of that. And there are people who say that if it has shifted in the Bhava chart, and then obviously there is no more the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. There is also the possibility that the said planet might be with someone, might be influenced by another planet, and so it might get a little diluted. For example, if I am speaking to you alone, then there is maximum concentration, or whatever I want I can spell out. But if someone else is standing next to me here, or maybe 2 people, 3 people, you will easily understand from this example that more planets influence the Pancha Maha Purusha. You should be very careful to find out whether these planets are disturbing the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, or possibly sometimes it might also be enhancing, where a close friend of mine who is also in the field of astrology is also standing next to me, and definitely we can do much better than I do it alone. So we have these small conditions apply in a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. But if Mars is giving the yoga, it is called Ruchaka Yoga, and if Mercury is causing this yoga, it is called Bhadra Yoga. Then by Jupiter, then it is Hamsa Yoga, and then by Venus it is Malavya Yoga, and by Saturn it is Shasha Yoga. So instead of reading a textbook and trying to figure out what are the effects of this individual Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, it's easier for you if you know what are the characteristics of each of these grahas. If you know Mars very well, you don't have to, you can tell everything that is about a positive Mars could happen for a person having a Ruchaka Yoga. As in the case of Muhammad Ali, for example. You can actually give me some details about people who have Pancha Maha Purusha Yogas, and so let's use this as a learning place where you share knowledge with all of us. If Mars is contributing, then there is a lot of guts, bravery, and the person wants to be a commander-in-chief, maybe a vice president, CEO, all that kind of leadership roles. Sometimes the person might also be in sports where there is a lot of physical strength involved. Not exactly the speed of the hand, but maybe there is a raw physical force that is being used by the person. So you find some of them are warriors, some of them in commander-in-chief of army or navy or the air force, or people who hold a very high post in these armed forces. Could be a policeman, a great name, a great policeman, not just the ordinary policeman. So if Mercury is causing the yoga, then Mercury gives you this luck of, speed of communication, speed of your hands. Maybe if you are a magician, it helps you a lot. Maybe if you are into any sports which demands extraordinary speed, or where things are measured only based on speed, then you have a greater chance if you have a Bhadra yoga in your horoscope. If it is caused by Jupiter, then Jupiter is all about knowledge. Here Jupiter is the advisor to the king. So or it can also give you luck in teaching. You might become the dean of a college, a very popular professor, a popular PhD, known for knowledge. You could be a scientist, a researcher, and wherever you will be surrounded by a lot of books. You will be crazy after books, because if you have Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga caused by Jupiter, then you will be always craving for knowledge. Most people who have Hamsa Yoga, you will always find, I'm not sure whether they read the books, but they will be always surrounded by the books. And if it is caused by Venus, then Venus is the flamboyant planet, and Venus is about show, about entertainment, about graphics, about fashion show, fashion, celebrity, movie industry, the cinema, all this, dance, singing, anything that is related to the entertainment. Sometimes it may also be sports, because the bottom line is that the person is enjoying, or very happy to be in their profession. They seem to be liking the place very much. That's about Malaviya Yoga. And then about Shasha Yoga, then Saturn means industrious, factories, warehouse, where a lot of people are involved, a lot of people are working for that person, and he is one, and then he has got 5,000 employees working for him. So network of companies, you have branches all over the state or city, many branches. Then Saturn is favorably placed and giving you a Shasha Yoga. Sometimes politicians also have Shasha Yoga. That's because in modern times, you see, it's no more the monarchy type of government, it's about democracy. And in democracy, what happens is the people vote the person to power, and so it's people's strength, the support of the people. The mass planet is actually Saturn. Even Moon is the mass planet, but Saturn gives you what is called the ruling power. In those days, a person having a Shasha Yoga might become the panchayat, leader, or a leader for a village. It's possible, and now it's could be the person having Shasha Yoga might be a big industrialist. There's another way of looking at Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. You will have to also keep track of when the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga is actually ruling or manifesting in the person's life. For example, let's say if a Malaviya Yoga is there in the horoscope, you need to look out when Venus Mahadasha happens to the person. If Venus Mahadasha does not happen in the prime of one's life, then most probably it might be wasted. Then the person will be forced to get these results only during the Antardasha, or maybe the Pratyantardasha also. The Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga will be let down in the sub period of a planet that is afflicting the planet that is giving you the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. You can also that if the planet is very strong in Shadbala, then it will give extraordinary results. And if it is very strong in what is called Vimsopaka strength, which is taken from all the 16 divisional, the entire divisional charts, all of them included. So if you use all the charts, then you will be able to find the Vimsopaka strength of the planet. So there are several other conditions apply for a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, but it is sufficient that if you know the basic version, that if the condition of the exaltation, own house, and then Kendra, it's enough to say that the person has a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. So to begin with, we have a blank horoscope, a chart, and let's eliminate the sun and moon, and then start with Mars. So we pick up Mars. If Mars is here, it is in own sign, because this is Aries, and if Mars is in Vrishchika, this is also his own sign. But here he is very happy, extremely happy to be here, because it is his exaltation point. Now let's do an example. Now Mars exalted and own house does not cause Ruchaka Yoga, but the next condition is that it should also be in house number 1, as in this case you have a Ruchaka Yoga, as in this case you have a Ruchaka Yoga, because it is in the 10th house. Here it is a 7th house, Mars exalted, a Rochaka Yoga, and here it is Mars 4th house, which is also a Kendra, and it's also simultaneously exalted. You could also have it like this, because now Mars is in the 7th and own house. So this is actually very easy and quite simple. In the case of Muhammad Ali, Mars is over here, and Mars is extremely strong in Shadbala, and it's also in the Mula Trikona, which is from 0 degrees to 12 minutes. So the more you know these kind of things, more rules you know, then actually you will get better while reading a chart. For Muhammad Ali, the Lagna is over here, Cancer ascendant, which means Mars is also in the 10th house. By the way, the 10th house is the house of profession. So we are done with Mars, so let's introduce Mercury. Now let's place the ascendant here, and Mercury is in its own sign. Also exaltation is halfway through, and Mercury is also in own sign here. So Bhadra Yoga can only happen if Mercury is either here or here, and it should also be like this. So in the case of Dhoni, you find that the ascendant is here and Mercury is in the 10th house. The other forms of Bhadra Yoga might be the Lagna can only be here, which means Mercury will be in the 7th, or here in the 4th over Mercury itself. So the next one is Hamsa Yoga. Jupiter is exalted here, and Jupiter's own signs are these two. So Hamsa Yoga, a Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga caused by Jupiter, can only happen here when Jupiter is here, or here, or here. Let's take the example of Sri Rama, Lord Sri Rama. He had ascendant here and Jupiter here, exalted. And in the case of the ex-Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Jupiter is here in its own sign, causing in the 7th house, causing the Hamsa Yoga. The other ways you can have it is like this. Ascendant, from the ascendant Jupiter is in the 4th, or even this is also a Hamsa Yoga, where now Jupiter is in the 10th. If Jupiter is exalted, then you may have a Hamsa Yoga like this, where the ascendant is Aries, or Cancer, or Libra, or Capricorn. All this is part, the same Hamsa Yoga. But it should also give some kind of importance to which house the set planet is. You can take a lot of clues from the house, because the house will also give many clues about the characteristics of that particular Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. So we are done with Hamsa Yoga or Hans Yoga. So because Hans means the swan, but in English the spelling has been Hamsa. That's why we generally pronounce it as Hamsa, but it will actually be pronounced as Hansa. So now let's start with Venus. Venus is in its own sign in Libra or Tula Rashi. It is in its own sign in Taurus or Rishabha Rashi, and it is in exaltation. Very happy to be here, extremely happy to be here, in Pisces or Meena Rashi. Now let's do the first one. Here it is the case of taken from the ex-Chief Minister Jayalalitha's horoscope, that the ascendant is Gemini, and Venus owns the 5th house of entertainment, cinema and royal powers, and that Venus sits in the 10th house. This is exalted Venus as the 5th lord, extraordinary luck. Then you have another situation where you get the same Malavya Yoga like this, where the ascendant is in Kanya or Virgo. Even this is a Malavya Yoga, where you have the ascendant as the Sagittarius. Even this is a Malavya Yoga, ascendant as Pisces or Meena Lagna. So you see that this one is the best of all, because Venus is exalted and is also the lord of the 5th house in the 10th. Now the 5th lord in the 10th is a separate big Raja Yoga, and that coinciding with the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga is something like unbelievable. And sometimes people will have two Pancha Maha Purusha Yogas, or sometimes even three. For example, the ex-Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu had Jupiter also here. It is a Hans Yoga along with a Malavya Yoga coming together in one horoscope. So the last one is Shasha Yoga. We'll start with this condition, where it is Cancer or Karkadaga Lagna, and Saturn is exalted in the 4th house. This is a very powerful Shasha Yoga. This planetary position happens in the horoscope of ex-Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Karunanidhi. So this is a typical Shasha Yoga. Even this is a Shasha Yoga, or this one, and this one, of course. I do a little more on this by considering the functional and malefic nature of the graha causing the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. So at appropriate times it will show its other side also, the other color, other side of the same coin. For example, if this is the Lagna and let's bring in Hamsa Yoga, Jupiter, this is definitely an advantage because it gives you a Hamsa Yoga, Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga, but Jupiter is also the 7th lord in the 7th house. So the 7th house is a Maraka Sthana and it is also in the house of Maraka, the 7th house. It's also not a functional benefic for this Lagna. What happens is that this Jupiter in its Dasha, Mahadasha or Antardasha can also cause danger to life. You can also have a complicated situation when you are not very sure about whether the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga is working or not. Let's look at this example, Hamsa Yoga, and Jupiter is very happy to be here in the 10th house. But suppose you introduce like this Rahu right over it, or extremely close to Jupiter, then it looks like Jupiter will not be able to function, give the full results of the Pancha Maha Purusha Yoga. So you'll have to also look out for these spoilers, as in life is always like that. You don't find anything so clear in the horoscope reading. That's because there's a permutation combination of many planets happening at the same time. But if you see that Rahu and Saturn is bracketing, which is called Papa Kartri Yogam, being bracketed by natural malefics, and Jupiter is caught in between, then Jupiter will not be able to give whatever is expected of the Hamsa Yoga.